Welcome to Be Kind, Let's Rewind, the nostalgia podcast no one asked for, with your hosts, Chris, Leaf, and Chadwick.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the live rewind. This is us going live here on YouTube, bringing in our special friend. Finally got some crowdfunding. Mr. Gibbs back on the live. It's not as special as a show, but it's a little cheaper. So, had to do what we had to do.
Mr. Key.
Just so you guys know, you are in arrears, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a
just a little
leeway.
Discount.
Yeah, maybe we'll do net 30. I don't know.
Yeah, today, man, we're gonna just start trying to do this every week we can. Talk about the episode that just came out, which was our Mario playthrough, and then also give you guys a little bit of a teaser what's coming up tomorrow on the show. So, the Mario playthrough actually got quite a lot of positive feedback. Except for the playthrough itself. I didn't get a lot of positive feedback on whoever was doing that damn playthrough. I don't know why it would be, but you know
what? Next time one of you assholes can do it and see how well you do.
Yeah, but then like the whole playthrough video would only last like 15 minutes. So probably
Dude.
Yeah, man.
Let's see y'all have your little arthritic hands like around that little controller, dude.
Oh man, I'll just pay some wretched little shit to do it for me and be like, yeah, guys, still got it. I'll just crowdfund a TMNT playthrough and be like, guys, turns out that water level not that bad.
Why did I think of that?
Dude, what's crazy is one of the shorts we put out, which I knew like when I was like putting it together. It's the one with Gibbs talking about his grandma playing Nintendo. I was like, of course this one's gonna be successful. Like all these other ones where we have these jokes that I'm always like, oh dude, that's gonna fucking be funny. And then no, absolutely not.
But my grandmother was popular.
Yeah, your grandmother was very popular. I was able to put like some graphics into. I had the Nintendo magazine, and then I had the Nintendo hotline because you said she was doing that.
Oh hell yeah!
Test audiences actually thoroughly enjoyed your grandma.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I mean, we'll be doing more of that content going forward. So.
Shout out Big Jugs McGee,
who let's just say Chris gave her that nickname when she just accepted that moniker. So. It is what it is.
I've learned more and more in life, dude, that I'm kind of the gift that keeps on giving. Clark.
I've heard many people call you things, and that is definitely one of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of people calling me things at work right now. It's pretty awesome. Hey, life is fun. Life is fun. Gibbs, man, what kind of memories do you have? I know you actually watched the full edited playthrough. What'd you think, man?
Huh?
The Mario playthrough.
Oh, I didn't watch it, man. You pay me to record it. I don't watch that. No. I mean, about the show that we did, I didn't understand the question. Honestly, like I kind of felt bad afterwards because I was giving Leaf such a fucking hard time about it. You know what? I think I roasted him a little bit too hard. I'm gonna send you some flowers.
One might say.
No, it's supposed to like blizzard out here tomorrow, so I'll send you some flowers tomorrow. If you don't get them, man, I don't know what happened.
Don't know what happened.
It's just they died in the snowstorm. Honestly, like, dude, when I was recording it, like I have like obviously streaming, with one of my other like gaming friends.
Check them out. Dr. Man show streaming on the weekends.
Thank you. I recorded it like with him, and like he was watching me play. Like through the game, like on my Nintendo Switch, because they have all like the old school games. Which I mean, if people really liked it that much, we're definitely gonna do more. Like y'all can give us suggestions as to
Mega Man
or Mega Man. Okay, like that's definitely one that's on there. Like which one of the 15?
All of them.
Like Gibbs says he wants a playthrough. He wants
It needs to be a 24-hour marathon of you playing Mega Man and me making fun of you playing Mega Man.
That's what we've learned going.
Oh wait, I guess I don't care if I made fun of you or not.
Yeah, you're right back to it. Your guilt was very, very short-lived, Gibbs, and that's fine. Man. As I was recording with my boy, I was just like, I was getting super pissed off, and he was like, "Dude, you got all the time in the world. You can edit out your fails." And I was like, "Oh, trust me, I will." And I was like, but the whole time I was like, "I'm gonna get cooked." for these. I was like, I would absolutely cook it. Like, no matter what, like I knew it was coming, but that I knew that was part of the fun,
Wait,
man.
hold
Like,
on a second. You had edited out your fails, and that was still what you came up with?
yeah, that was the best I could do.
do.
Hey, I beat the game. That's all that matters, dude.
You did beat the game, man.
I
you
beat
spend
it.
like your entire life
Legit.
playing video games?
It was 4 hours. It was 4 hours of nonstop.
And
it
you
was
were able
awful.
to get 39 minutes.
Dude, Listen, if people want longer playthroughs, we could do that. This. I mean, the videos could be 5 hours long.
Well,
Yeah, dude.
I mean, Mega Man, Castlevania, like
Oh, dude,
those are
there's
games
a
that'll-
ton. Well, actually, I found an old Nintendo commercial. I'm gonna go ahead and play on the stream right now. That actually brought back some memories.
What's it like to play the Nintendo Entertainment System?
Obviously, high quality.
The Nintendo.
It's old Rob the Robot
Have
that
we-
we talked
Robbie
about.
Robot, dude.
figured out what Rob the
No one-
Robot does yet?
No one figured
No
it
one.
out.
Did you,
No one-
nobody opened up a Google window and tried to figure this
Not
shit
only
out.
did no one open up a Google window, no one fucking commented, nothing. We don't know what Robbie does.
I think it's kind of a conspiracy. I think maybe there was like some secret powers that Rob would have unlocked that we just missed. So that probably makes the most sense on that.
Elon Musk is looking into Robbie Robot right now.
It's gonna
to
save
see
the
how
world.
to fix climate change right now.
Well, just make sure if you just joined us too, be sure to do the old like, subscribe, all those things, man.
Hit me up on my socials.
Yeah.
I don't have socials, you stupid morons.
T Nick says, "Sup, Doc, Will Ferrell, and Dan Schneider." So I mean, like,
Donut
Gibbs,
you
Dan
guys-
Schneider?
we haven't done a best of Will Ferrell, right? No.
No, he's calling me Will Ferrell and Gibbs Dan Schneider.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
You know,
He was
put up-
framed, guys. He was framed.
Hey, you know, whatever. Don't even care. We roast ourselves more than other people roast us. So there's like. little bit of-
Oh,
you can-
I
I
don't
like
think
it.
that's true. I just think that we just don't read the comments too much.
yeah,
We
or
do,
del-
but
or
wait
delete
till
'em.
like soon.
I'm like, that was
soon.
mean. Delete.
Hey, listen, soon it's going to be we're gonna have super chats, and you guys better get used to accepting those and responding to them because they will be paid.
What
Yep.
does that mean? What is a super chat?
No one
So-
really knows. It's kind of like Rob the Robot. You just charge people for it, and people buy it. Like,
That is
it's really-
not absolutely. I can completely explain super chats. Unlike Rob the Robot, I don't know what that thing did. What I'm saying is that is that when someone will pay money for a super chat, it will be highlighted in our live chat, and we will read it as long as it's not full of racism and bigotry and other TOS subjects.
No, we can't make restraints like that.
Dude, here's all I'm saying, man. Money talks and our chat walks. So I'm just saying, super chat.
I'll,
be
I'll
like-
commit a racism for the right amount of money.
I'll be like, in memory of Shattuck, I'll be like, he's about to say it for real.
He's gonna say it for real.
Yeah, so on that Mario one, actually, I looked up, try to find an old Mario commercial, and there was obviously some for 3. There was a couple for 2, but there really wasn't. I found one in Japanese for Mario Brothers, like the first one,
Yeah.
and that was it. And it basically looked like our playthrough with full
Yeah.
music blasting and I think our good friend Yoshi or Toshi saying all the
Toshi.
things in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they didn't know what that Mario was gonna like even be a thing. Like that was like one of the title games, but it could have been just one of the actually there's a lot of characters that were like throwaways potentially. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of Nintendo, like Kid Icarus, like when we've ever had like another updated version of Kid Icarus, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of characters that just for whatever reason didn't hit or didn't make it. And so yeah, like why it's easy to look back now and be like, why can't we find any original? Like they didn't know that as funny as this is to say that Mario and Luigi were gonna be like things of the past or just something, a one-off.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, right? It's just like, hey, we have these games. Is anybody going to play them? They didn't realize that Mario was going to.
Well, not to mention
end up
that
being a
Nintendo was
staple.
originally a card making playing cards. They were a cab service at one point. They were throwing a bunch of shit against the wall to see what would stick, man. So, but anyway, that was a good. I enjoyed that episode. It was fun. It was fun listening to Gibbs roast your playthrough. My favorite clip is that one where he's like, "I'm getting irrationally angry at watching you play." You're like, "I've demonstrated how to play the fucking game." Gibbs like, "You're getting mad," and then Gibbs is laughing, and
that was also one of my favorite moments as well. 10 out of 10 would absolutely do it again, and will, as a matter of fact.
So this episode's coming out tomorrow. We did an entire episode on Billy Madison, one of our favorites from back in the day. Gibbs, I mean, how many times, if you had to guess, do you think that we've watched Billy Madison together?
I have never seen that movie.
You're such a liar.
You're absolutely
together. We've probably seen it about 1,000 times.
Exactly.
We got drunk like every fucking night, and that's one of the damn things that came on.
What year was that exactly? Do either of y'all remember?
I don't know what year it is right now. So
yeah,
I bet that tastes good.
The Pizza Gorilla, ladies and gentlemen. The Pizza Gorilla. Thanks for joining us, Pizza Gorilla. No, it came out in 95, man, but it wasn't really. Yeah. I didn't. So we talked about this in the episode, but really didn't see it till after I'd seen Happy Gilmore, and there was just something about Billy Madison that had this struck a chord with a ton of different people. Like I remember there was like some people that we knew from the old company we worked for, and they were starting to quote like Billy Madison, and it was people I wouldn't think would have been like way into Billy Madison. And when I say quoted, I mean the entire fucking movie, where I was like, Jesus Christ, like you know this thing better than me. It's like The Office when what's his name when Plop recites Die Hard to Aaron. Yeah. It was basically that.
You know, I didn't see this movie until later on. My brother saw it in theaters.
Oh wow!
At we were living in Orlando. I think he went and saw it at Disney World, like I think it was at Pleasure Island or something like that. Mm-hmm. But he came home and he was telling me about this movie. I was like, I don't know what movie you're talking about. I've never heard of this movie before.
Doesn't make any sense.
And he went with like some of his friends, I think, and he was like, dude, there was this moment where the guy's like, he called the shit poop, and I was like, what does that fucking mean? I don't know what that means. And he's like, it's funny. And I was like, what's the context? I don't know what he called the shit poop is. And I was mad. And I was just like, you know what? If my brother likes it, I hate it automatically. So I'm never gonna watch this stupid fucking thing. And then and then whenever I finally watched it, I was like, okay, I get it. He called it shit poop. Like, I get it now.
It is really hard to explain.
Don't tell him I'm okay with it now.
If you explain the plot of this to somebody, they're just like, "This is the fucking dumbest movie I've ever seen." And I was like, "Yeah, but what if you threw in Rockin' Church?" And then the movie would be a little bit better. So helps it out.
There's
a lot. I lost like 6 viewers as soon as I put that GIF up.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. The point being is like this again was one of like Adam Sandler's like first like foray. Was this his first foray into like into movies?
Yeah, with the SNL type backing. He did have that movie Overboard, I think, that exists.
I don't even know what that is.
What is that?
I've never actually seen it. I remember it was one of those like when somebody was like, "Oh man, I remember seeing Trey Parker and Matt Stone's first movie, Orgasmo," and you're like, "Oh, actually, it's Cannibal the Musical." That was really like Adam Sandler's first one.
You're describing me.
But yeah,
it's kind of like what's his name, Jim Carrey, where you're like, "Oh man, I loved his first movie, Ace Ventura," and then like, "No, well, he was in." I still have never seen like Once Bitten or all that shit like that.
Oh yeah, with Jim Carrey.
And also like Adam Sandler didn't exist until this movie came out. Like he wasn't even an entity. He wasn't born yet.
Yeah, I just think that I think that this one was again like Happy Gilmore is a better structured movie as far as movies goes. Happy Gilmore is like more. It just makes more sense to me. Maybe because it's a sports movie. Yeah. This one though is just like this is just Adam Sandlering.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Him hanging out with his friends and Adam Sandlering.
Yeah. Which we talk about it a little bit in the episode. I won't give away a ton of stuff that we had behind the scenes, but they wanted Bob Odenkirk as the bad guy for this. Like Sandler pitched really hard for that, and the studio said no because they were friends from SNL. They didn't want a bunch of friends of Sandler on there.
Also, like Bob Odenkirk wasn't really a name. I mean, even though Bradley Whitford wasn't huge at the time, he was still around and was kind of known as an actor.
I'm gonna defend the Suits just for 1 second here. Like, imagine you have like a ton of investors and you've literally heard Adam Sandler stand up. You know what this man is capable of. Do you really want him and a bunch of his like buddies like making a comedy under your banner? Like,
yes,
that is a brand risk of a brand. Yeah, I know you do now. Like, but back then,
well,
I can kind of understand.
I
can
kind of
understand
like that. You know, like it was just a bunch of guys from the National Lampoon just like hanging out and blowing shit up.
Dude, that's what Caddyshack, Caddyshack 100% was. I think I found out in one of our episodes, talk about a little bit in that Caddyshack book I read. The uncut version of Caddyshack was 4.5 hours.
Yeah, I want to see it. Release it
cut
now.
it down.
No.
Schneider, release it now. But that's what I'm saying, though. It's just like, yeah, it's like Caddyshack. Like, Caddyshack is fine because it worked, but like, that doesn't mean there was people like behind the scenes, like potentially sweating bullets, right? Like, and also like as time has gone on, the brand increased in the amount of money it could generate.
Caddyshack also was coming off the heels of the Animal House success.
Yes.
So that also was, hey, they were kind of chomping at the bit.
But this was coming off the success of Sadie Gilmore. Not Sadie Gilmore.
I don't remember Sadie Gilmore.
You know
Daddy
what?
Gilmore?
I fucking give up. I'm leaving, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Chat.
I'm out.
Gives his left chat.
I'm the worst human being ever. I want to go fuck myself.
But there was a lot of. I actually kind of want to do a top 10. I was thinking about on the way home a top 10 of top SNL movies that actually would fall, not just necessarily were based off of whatever, but shit that falls off of under the SNL banner. So SNL produced this because you know, you not just necessarily characters like Wayne's World, or I forgot reading that book. I forgot there was a Pat movie. I actually forgot the character Pat existed.
I honestly can't believe. How did that movie do, by the way? I remember that it existed.
It's Pat.
But
yeah.
Nobody watched it except for me.
Some of those, I found out though, those budgets were so low on those SNL movies. They still usually made money.
Quentin Tarantino helped with that fucking script on It's Pat.
Did he really?
Yeah.
No way.
He was friends with Julie. What's her fucking name?
Julia Gulia.
Julia Gulia. No, the chick that played Pat.
I can't remember her name.
She was in like at the end of Pulp Fiction. But he was friends with her, so he helped her out with the freaking script for that, and it's just a giant fucking turd, man. There are some really funny moments in it, but it's in the trailer. Every funny moment in that movie is in the trailer.
Julia Sweeney, that's who it was.
Julia Sweeney,
who was really good on SNL. Like she's in that book, and she talks about kind of her time with SNL and how that went, and how that character was kind of it was a joke and a gag they had for a while, and then it was finally got on screen, and everybody's kind of like, whatever. And then I think the next week she said they did it the first week, and the next week she came out, and it got, as soon as she walked in, the big audience reaction, the big clap, and they're like, oh shit, like this is a thing now. So
I remember in the trailer for It's Pat, like it made me, the only reason I wanted to watch that is because of this moment where he walks into she walks into a freaking room, and this guy's like, hey, is that a banana in your pocket? Or are you happy to see me? And she pulls out a banana. He's like, oh, it's a banana. And I was like, okay.
And that was the joke.
Yeah,
the entire time.
It was so straightforward. The entire, like, it was just a way. How do we dance around the question this week?
Are you a brother or a sister? Well, I'm an only child.
Yeah.
Like, I think that is also a really good point that like both of y'all are bringing up, is the fact that like, do all skits translate like into a movie? And I believe the answer is obviously no.
Resoundingly no.
I mean, there's some like people
Wayne's
that are
World.
good support. Right.
Wayne's World works.
Right.
But they actually had a decent script, and they fleshed out the characters, and they made something.
And
the Ladies Man, It's Pat, shit like that. It's one note, and it's fine for 5 minutes. It's not fine for an hour and a half.
The joke in the butt Like,
do you
you
not
can't.
though think that it couldn't be salvaged though with like exceptional writing and
Well,
like
anything
people?
can be. I can.
anything,
Yeah,
yes.
anything can with
Well,
exceptional
obviously
writing.
it's Pat because they got freaking Quentin Tarantino to help out with the script, and that is still a giant shitball.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's what I want to do a deep dive on that SNL stuff. Though I want to see like what are people are watching right now. Like, what was your favorite SNL movie? Did you have one? Did you have one that were like under certain banners that were your favorite? Like, so, because I know Billy Madison, after this, obviously you have the Happy Madison that starts to crank out his movies after Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, he realized he probably wasn't going to get the funding. He was going to be basically under the gun. And
Well, he made some
people were
money,
gonna-
and then Lauren luckily fired him and Farley because, it's things.
best
and stuff.
decision of probably Sandler's career was for him to like leave that. I mean, yeah, he was fired.
It's kind of crazy too. Like, he got hired on as a writer. So Adam Sandler gets hired on to SNL as a writer, not to be on camera. And he was doing most of these dudes get found doing stand up or whatever. They all go to like some like hoity-toity like college where they get their nice degrees, and then they go off to do like these. All the people in SNL early on and National Lampoons are like Harvard and Yale graduates writing like dick and fart jokes sometimes. And it just like blows my mind. Like,
I hear you. Let me ask you guys a question. If either of you ever thought about this, I hear that he was hired on as a writer at like an SNL, and like they didn't want to be on camera, but how old was he? And can you imagine? So it's like, well, we like
it's
you.
early 20s.
No, he was 67.
So
69.
So can you guys imagine being like, yeah, we want your talent, but you're just gonna be a writer? It's like, all right, cool.
He apparently tested bad with the studio and camera, 100%.
But here's the thing: it's like, okay, so you're bad on camera. You're 20 years old, and we want you as a writer. What the fuck do you know?
Well, after finding out, like the
have you ever met a 20-year-old? They think they're the funniest fucking people on earth.
Yeah, but why would you hire a 20-year-old like potentially as a writer though? That's what I'm saying. Like, don't you want somebody with writing experience, writing talent? That's always bothered me. It was like, well, he was hired on as a writer. What did he know about writing though? Like, what does that even mean? Like,
well, I don't know, because their schedule sucked, man. So what I found out is, I don't know, I think the second or third season started this, where they started making them, they called Tuesday writing sessions. So everyone would stay until like 4 or 5, sometimes 7 o'clock in the morning, like Wednesday morning. It would start Tuesday night, and the early SNL days were pretty coke filled and whatever. So not so hard to stay up that late. The later ones, I tried to clean it up. Like, there's always like a bunch of people smoking pot or whatever, but that's just the way you did it. Tuesday night, you're going to be there all fucking night at the studio.
You need your creative
or
muse,
at the office, huh?
You need your creative muse.
That's what I said, man.
Sometimes
take away drugs from grunge music, and it died.
There was a chick named Tuesday Night that was in Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
Her name's Tuesday Night?
Yes, her name was Tuesday Night.
I like your sister better. But yeah, man. So they brought Sandler on. Of course, also I found out too, they fired Norm right after our demoted Norm from Weekend Update, the head of NBC guy did right after Farley's funeral. So that guy's awesome.
And who did they replace him with?
Colin Quinn. He's fucking awesome.
He was on MTV. What do you mean, Chris, dude? He's
the greatest cleanup hitter of all time. He took over remote control from Jon Stewart, then he took over and buried that. He took over Weekend Update for Norm and buried that. Like, he's fucking batting 1,000.
I don't remember exactly how it went. I remember when Colin Quinn took over and his first introduction, when he was introducing himself on Weekend Update, and I kind of respect it, is like he got on there and he knew it wasn't going to be popular. Right. And he was like, whenever you go to a bar and there's, this bartender and see every single time, and you become friends and everything like that. But one day you go into the bar and there's a new bartender, and you're like, oh God, well, let's see what this guy's about. He's like, I'm the new bartender or whatever.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
I actually like Colin Quinn. I really don't have anything against him, but that's just because what's his name, Jim Downey. That's all he was doing was writing Weekend Update with Norm. That was like the only thing that he would do when he came back, and I was like, it's it's so funny. If you guys can go find like Conan O'Brien's podcast, he had he had Jim Downey on there, and they talk about a bunch of Norm stories that are pretty awesome.
It may end up. It may be my favorite interview on Conan's podcast.
Yeah, same here.
Like, I mean, I laughed so
Mhm.
damn hard. All the behind the scenes stories is fantastic. You guys have to check it out if you haven't seen it.
yeah,
already.
go check out Conan sponsor our podcast. So when Billy Madison, like I think Happy Gilmore was more in our wheelhouse. Was it when
Yeah.
we started drinking? Is that when Billy Madison kind of started to solidify itself to us?
In my personal opinion, like I think that we were just sort of the age of consent to receive a lot of of Adam Sandler's comedy, man. Like I think he appealed. Obviously, he did. A lot of his stand up was geared towards the younger generation, college kids, our generation, right? That
All his
remember him.
albums, like his albums
All
that
of his
came out in like the
albums.
90s and shit. Like
I honestly feel like Billy Madison was sort of an homage to that. And a lot of the like for its failings as in writing and everything else, it almost in Billy Madison sort of devolves in a certain respect to like sketch comedy because
Yeah.
just a bunch of sort of mishmash stuff happening there. And Happy Gilmore was more of a well thought out,
it was a better structured movie. Yeah.
structured story. Yeah, but at Billy Madison, the people that lived through that time, they didn't care. Like you go to a movie to be entertained, you go to enjoy it, and people that watched Billy Madison didn't love it because there was this
It's
structured.
fucking funny, man.
It
I'm
was
sorry.
funny,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
nonsensical comedy always hits really, really strong. I think more with the youth than
It's
the
still
older
incredibly
generation.
rewatchable though. Like I never get bored with it. I've seen it 1,000 times, and every time it's on, it's one of those like if you're scrolling through the TV and you see it's on, you just kind of put it on no matter where it's at.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and the climax is absolutely freaking hilarious. I don't know. It's not perfect, but it's perfect in my mind. I don't know
Well,
if that
I mean,
makes
okay,
sense.
so
I don't know. I
let's
don't ever make sense. Fuck me.
let's
No.
segue from a character in Billy Madison, old Steve Buscemi, who when I went to Philadelphia with my wife, we the one thing that I wanted to do after we did all her art stuff because she's cultured and I'm swine. As I was like, oh, there's this prison tour you can do. It's like one of the first prisons in America. So we went to go do that. And Steve Buscemi is on the fucking radio, but he pronounced his name Steve Buscemi on
Buscemi.
the way he said it. And I don't know.
Okay.
It's part of me thinks that he just did that to fuck with everybody because I've seen him announced 1,000 times as Buscemi on talk shows and
Mhm.
shit. But
Yeah.
anyway, he's the narrator when you're going through this prison in your headphones that they give you. And it was pretty fucking cool. It's not something I expected in Philadelphia in the middle of nowhere in the rain. But yeah.
That's actually wild, though.
Yeah.
Like
Pretty funny. But anyway, Gibbs, what was the first movie you saw him in?
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a movie. I think the first thing I remember seeing him in was Pete and Pete.
Oh shit. I
oh
forgot
my
about that.
god, dude, I forgot about that.
Damn.
Oh shit.
And yeah, every time he'd pop up, I'd be like, "Oh, it's that guy! It's that guy!" So,
It's him,
movie-wise,
dude.
it probably is this, but I mean, I do remember seeing him in Pete and Pete first.
That's freaking wild. I remember let's see if I can get this brought up on screen. But I remember him from I guess was it Reservoir Dogs? Let's see.
Yeah, I did not see Reservoir Dogs until later on. I had a Mormon family that wouldn't let me watch stuff. That was cool.
It's funny because I didn't see the movie. I saw the MTV clips of him. That was when I was first aware of who he was, is because that whole Reservoir Dogs MTV hype. And I don't know how to share a picture on screen, so I'm fucking whatever. None of this matters.
We're still learning. It's fine, dude.
Leaf, where
It's
do you remember
fine.
seeing him in?
Steve Buscemi?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be completely honest, dude. I'm sure I've seen him in multiple things before this, but until Con Air, I don't remember him, man. Like I don't remember anything, but because he had such an absolutely standout performance as just, and obviously
He was
a lot of
incredible
people,
in that one.
everyone will literally talk about Steve Buscemi, about like his incredible acting talent and just everything about him and his ability. No one will talk about how creepily weird his face is because it's literally what it is. It's his face just seems to be sort of unsettling, especially in his younger years. He just has a creepy look. And, you match that with his acting talent and you end up having, the legendary actor that he is. But I'm sorry, it's his look. He has an incredible look and he wields it like a sword, man. And it cuts deep when he does what he does. And it's amazing. And he works it in Billy Madison, too. He just is place. It's like, I don't know if he's technically a serial killer yet, but like he's like burgeoning in the film. And like you see him and immediately you're just like, dude, this guy looks so weird. And I'm sure the people that watched the film didn't know who he was either, saw him and was just like, man, this guy is so strange. Reservoir Dogs. Yeah. I'm sorry. He is.
Here we go.
No. Oh,
it's it's
Am I supposed to be able to hear something?
It's muted.
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, baby. Everybody's like, it's super funny looking. It was
whatever.
No, he also around the same time, I think he was in Fargo as like the quick talking bad guy in that one who gets
about that
shoved into the wood chipper.
Yeah. That's the thing about him, right? Is that like he has that incredibly creepy look. He plays an amazing bad guy, creepy villain, murderer, serial killer, just bad, like all around bad dude. But then like his dialogue, like in my opinion, he obviously it was Mr. Pink. I think Reservoir Dogs, like he's my favorite character. Even long before I was like, he's definitely getting killed because it's Quentin Tarantino. Like I had seen Reservoir Dogs long after it released. Yeah. I knew who Quentin Tarantino was, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and watch this. He gets killed, and I'm just sitting here watching the whole time, and I'm like, but dadgummit, like he's such a good character, dude.
I don't like him in Reservoir Dogs. He doesn't tip.
I like him. I like him in Mr. Deeds.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Crazy Eyes.
Honestly, like in Wedding Singer, he was fucking hilarious in The Wedding Singer too.
That's what I like though. Is he's like a good actor, but I like actors that can go like have some fun.
And they don't take themselves too seriously.
Yeah, he doesn't mind playing like the ugly guy. Like he doesn't care. That's what he is. He still brings all of his talent and ability with it too, man.
Leaf, I don't know if there is a heaven or not, but you keep saying that about Steve Buscemi's face. I'm going to say you're going to hell.
Well,
I mean, I like Family Guy, so I mean, we're all headed that direction.
Lucky you're a Family Guy. Some of the other Sandler stuff I wanted to talk about were his albums, man. What the hell happened to me? Stan and Judy's Kid.
Baby.
Guys, and before we start jumping in the Sandler album part of this, make sure you like the stream, comment, all those fun things, and check out our Billy Madison episode that comes out tomorrow on all podcasting platforms.
What time does that come out?
3 a.m. It'll be dropping.
3 a.m. for you night owls that are out there. You guys can watch it first, 3 a.m.
And you can see video on Spotify and obviously YouTube. Got audio on all other podcasting platforms, man. So and on top of that, check out our merch that you can find the links through on all of our stuff. Grab yourself a sweet tea or an awesome hoodie. Actually, a sweet t-shirt, not a sweet tea. I mean, if you buy some, I will send you a jug of sweet tea if you want.
What brand of sweet tea would that be? Would that be Milo's from
it would be Otis's.
Alabama? Otis's? Really?
Yeah.
Are we a Otis sweet tea?
Well,
podcast?
Because Milo and Otis. You get it? The stupid movie. You're an idiot.
Is that the one where they throw all the dogs over the cliff or whatever?
Oh, nice. Got a good Billy Madison comment here. Good old Metal Gear. No milk will ever be my milk. I'd rather have a beer.
True.
They always have those freaking throwaway characters in Sandler's movies and stuff. Like even in Mr. Deeds, the butler, the old guy, like when he slides down the thing and he's like, "What is it? Well, I'm out or safe?" And he's just like the safe sign or whatever. That's like he doesn't say shit through the whole movie.
Family, it's safe.
Yeah,
My
family
favorite,
safe.
one of my favorite characters from Billy Madison is the sexually assaulting maid Juanita. I'm sorry. Every time she's on screen, dude, she has some of the funniest lines, dude.
Dude, when he says that he wants a snack pack, and she's like, "I'll be your snack pack."
you know how I know she's good? Because she makes Adam Sandler laugh on screen and on camera, and he left it in. Like there's times when she's like grabbing him and sexually. She asks him if he wants her to take off her shirt, and he's like laughing. He's like, no, he's in the middle. He's literally
like,
laughing.
So weird. Are the one where there's a. I got to tell you guys, there's an awesome Shadwick line about shaving your armpits that's in our episode that you've got to watch. A nice joke that he threw in there. So
it's terrible.
It's bad, but it's it won't make live. But hey, if it gets us canceled, here we are. Glad you're here for the last ride. But yeah,
my
dude,
soul
Juanita
got
was
canceled
great.
years ago.
And to connect the two, Juanita and Steve Buscemi get to make out at the end of it too. Which will actually segue me to what I really wanted to talk about. This is Chris fucking Farley. And if you watch the podcast, you probably know that I'm going to talk about him at fucking nauseum because I love that man. Got me my Matt Foley Funko Pop on my desk.
Oh, hell yeah.
Matt Foley.
Actually, I don't know how to take this. You guys let me know. So I got this for Christmas for my mother-in-law. It's a Chris Champion Funko Pop. Holding a beer,
a little adjusted a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Back and forth because it's got a little glare on it. Okay, you're holding a football and a delicious frothy beer.
Wait a goddamn minute. You got your own damn Funko Pop?
Yeah.
Gibbs, wait. We can get you your own Funko Pop.
No, I don't want it. He's already got it.
Gibbs has left the chat.
Wait, do they make wheelchair Funko Pops? Because I'm gonna sue the shit out of them for money. Looks like I'm gonna be a little extra. Y'all getting extra Christmas presents at the end of this 2025.
So at this point was.
Thank you, Funko Pop. I'll see you in court.
At this point, was Chris Farley really well known, or was he still on his way up?
Yes, he was really well known. I'll look up the dates too because I don't know when Tommy Boy came out, but this was right around the peak because this came out in 95, man. So I think they were let go in 95, 96, but this was the peak of.
So it was right after
Farley,
this, basically.
Sandler. Yeah. So this was like peak of Sandler and Tommy Boy's 95. So I mean, both these movies came out at the same time. But
like, if you were in Billy Madison, you're fired,
dude. It was like Farley, Chris Rock, David Spade, Norm. They were all like kind of this clique. Jim Downey would write a bunch of stuff for him.
Clique.
I think it was Odenkirk. No, it was Downey. Downey did not want Farley to do the Chippendales. For those guys, if you haven't seen it, the Chippendales skit from SNL, look it up. It's Patrick Swayze, Chris Farley. He didn't want him to do it because he thought that the joke is that Chris Farley's fat, but that he was way more talented than that, and there was a better way to do it, is what he was. I think Jim Downey is such a comedic genius that he really hates the low-hanging fruit if you go at it straight ahead. Now you can hit the low-hanging fruit like the OJ jokes, right? Like OJ's a murderer. That's funny, but
it's a one-off.
Downey found like 7,000 fucking angles to hit that every single week when Norm was doing Weekend Update, So he hated it. I think Odenkirk, a bunch of other dudes on SNL loved the idea of it. But when we did our best of Farley, I listened to there's an audiobook out there that Chris Farley's brothers wrote that is terrible. About Chris Farley, but it's got a lot of good info in it, but they roast the fuck out of him. It's pretty. I mean, I guess they're just honest, but I'm just saying, if y'all do that to me when I die, I'm fucking coming back to haunt you guys. So let my secrets die with me.
I think this is one of the times that that Jim Downey was wrong, and I don't think he fully understood. I get his point. Like I feel like he was in defense of Chris Farley. I feel like he didn't want. I think himself.
That he wanted more. Yeah, he wanted more for Farley is what he wanted
because
he knew how talented he was.
Farley was also insanely like self-conscious about all of that
right,
shit too.
right,
So
yeah.
like, it's just protecting his friend.
Dude,
yeah.
Thank you. I honestly feel like it was both of those things. I think he didn't want Chris Farley to demean himself. He didn't want it. He didn't want to humiliate. He didn't want him to humiliate himself on a one-off joke. That the risk of that bombing would have been too. I think people don't realize
Which it didn't. It fucking
thankfully.
ended up being,
However, if it
one of
had,
the
if you
most-
you look beforehand, right? Like, what if it had? Like, what would that have done to Farley's, confidence?
Oh, yeah.
Like he tried all his best, and then it bombs, and then it's just like, haha, you're this fat guy, and now you're not even funny, right? Like,
well, that was his whole thing. Like Farley was, like Gibbs said, him being self-conscious. He was always self-conscious of fatty fall down, go boom. That's like what he didn't want his comedy to be. And I mean, go watch anything, man, with him. Like all that stuff, all his movies. Any of the best of SNL is on Peacock. You can find it. It's really, really good.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just think that like Farley going back and watching is just one of the iconic guys for me in comedy.
He 100% is.
Honestly, like it was that era of SNL that got me into SNL. Like that's always going to be. I mean, freaking Tommy Boy was my favorite movie, probably.
Thank you, Dr. Man.
Tommy Boy was probably my favorite movie for about 5 years of my life. Like there was something about him that was so incredibly charming, even when he was being obnoxious and crazy, and he was so lovable, even when he was being horrible. And like he's so singular. Like I can't think of anybody that's really like that. A lot of people always compared him to like John Belushi and stuff, but I really don't see the connection there, other than they were both fats.
And I think too, like I probably made this on the podcast before, like this comparison, but like there was innocence in Farley. That innocence was not in Belushi. Like you're not gonna get that's. It's just Farley idolized
Belushi
him.
Had this like this raw anger that was always underlying in everything that he did. Whereas like there was an innocence and a sweetness to everything.
Childlike wonder. Yeah.
All you got to do is go watch the Blues Brothers, and like you'll see John Belushi as John Belushi, because like that was him
seething throughout that movie.
He is like,
which is great. It works for that character and everything like that. But like they just couldn't play the same characters.
No.
They were brilliant, both brilliant. They're not in their own ways, but they're not interchangeable.
It's really sad in that book too, though. Like Farley always wanted approval from his dad, which his dad, I mean, supported him and stuff, but his dad had his own issues, and it's a crazy life when you're famous, dude. It sucks.
I know. I can tell everybody about that.
Gibbs, especially after this, Gibbs's lawyers are already on us. He's got that Better Call Saul fella. That Odenkirk guy is going to sue us because the payment didn't come through. But man, Farley, like,
watch your ass.
Farley to me, like he always looked up to Belushi, and he even told Sandler at some point in time, like they were like, if you don't slow down, you're gonna end up like Belushi, and he was like, that would be fine with me. Like he idolized that dude so much, and I'm like, I like Farley better than Belushi, like, and a lot,
except Jim Belushi's better than everybody. He's probably the funniest guy I have ever seen in my life.
Especially when he's dressed up as the gorilla in Trading Places. Like, legitimately.
I like it whenever like people just ride their brother's coattails to fame.
Like Farley's brother tried to and then failed and then talked shit about him in a book.
He's got two brothers. Actually, one of them was a writer on SNL for a while too.
Oh, I didn't know.
The other one was the one that was on Nickelodeon and just bleh. So what was your favorite, if you had to pick a favorite Farley skit, what would it be?
Mine? I can tell you mine right off the bat. Like, dude, I know it instantly, dude. It's literally the freaking Folgers Crystals.
God damn, that was the one that I was going to say.
Too? Yeah. Yes, dude. Gibbs.
That sincere look on his face, he's like, what?
Yeah, because like you're expecting, obviously he's going to be surprised, but like the fake rage that he's able to summon and the anger is just instantly like, I know you, Gibbs. I know you, bro. As soon as he's like, what? And he looks up and it's like face like starts shaking like that. You instantly start laughing. You've seen it 1,000 times. You know what's gonna come. You know what's gonna happen. but it's like, oh, it's like Taster's Crystals or whatever, whatever it was.
Choice.
Dude, yeah, it is so funny because it's not real, but his acting is so hilarious. Like that, he has this. He could control his entire body in a way that.
I think my favorite was the famous Matt Foley skit with Christina Applegate and Spade, just because he makes him break. But to shout out Demand for a second, when he's talking about the fat man in a little coat or whatever, that was in Tommy Boy. That actually was some shit that Farley used to do to Spade when they were riding at SNL. And then, so he said he would just be behind him and he'd be like, Spade would say, he would just hear, David. And he's like, better not be fat man in a little coat again. Because he would take like David Spade's coat and put it on. He's like, David. And it's like 3:00 in the morning. They're trying to run a show. And Farley's over here with fat man in a little coat or whatever. And that's how that joke ended up making it in there.
It's so funny, dude. That is, you could see that literally happening. How many times have any guys, you've been hanging out with your friends, you're drinking, and one of your stupid idiot friends, there's always one guy who's dumber than everyone else, starts to do something. Matt, I'm looking at you out here right now. And you're like, you're so dumb, bro. And you're agitated even to a little bit, but he starts doing that thing and you just cannot help.
Yeah.
You cannot help yourself.
You don't want to laugh like out of spite, but you still fucking laugh. Like,
still funny, dude. Like you could see that moment coming into fruition, man. Like you really can, dude.
Sup, Wallace?
Sup, Wallace? How you doing there, brother? He just got, dude, our man Wallace, shout out. He is doing Brazilian jiu-jitsu now because of course he is. And he just got done out of class and is joining us on the live stream. So shout out, man.
I'm
the same dude that's
Canadian jiu-jitsu. It's very polite.
The same dude that did ultra marathons, won a strongman contest. He's like, man, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep doing crazy things.
Fitness-wise, we're about on the same level.
The man asked how many coats do you think they went through to get that take, and I would say probably about 17. I bet Farley purposely fucked the take up so he could just keep doing the joke. That's
nonstop, and
that's what I would do.
Which made David Spade even more surly than he always
Gibbs,
did.
Ronnie just said, "Hey guys, Piss, I'm Gibbs."
There was two of me.
That used to be Sean's iconic. We'll get Sean on one of these lives at some point too. But that was a fun one, man.
One of his go-to. I'm so excited to introduce our inner circle group to the rest of the world. Dude. Hey guys, I cannot wait for that. Do we have a bunch of people watching the stream and like our loser friends we've like all grown up with get on here and start ruining everything we've built and tried to like string together with tape and bubblegum.
Dude, shout out to Peyton. He's got a book, Imaginary Ivan. So guys, go check that out.
I've read it. It's very good. Everybody hit it up.
I've got a copy of it too.
I got a copy at Chris's Wrestling Hall of Fame.
That's right, man. Got my plaque right here and my ring, baby. I'm proud of those units.
Shout out.
Proud of those fucking units.
Good stuff. That's really good.
The sketches, like Adam Sandler sketches, like other than the ones that you guys covered in that episode, that famous episode you guys did last December.
That doesn't exist anymore. That's been scrubbed.
Oh, you sons of bitches!
I still have it on the hard drive. But anyway.
Right, but like other than like the ones that you've talked about, do you have any other favorites that you'd like to mention?
I mean, I love the Sandler playing guitar thing was new to me when that started happening. So like I love that stuff. But I guess like the Lunch Lady Land, I don't know. That's a banger anyway. And I just love that again, Norm's in it. Farley's doing the Lunch Lady. Kevin Nealon is in it. So it's like I think that one is like a sentimental favorite to me. Because I mean, all his other stuff is it was good on there. I'm glad that they finally got him on there. That shit with Dana Carvey when he's they were doing the bellissima, yeah, and then like Sandler just comes out with salad on his crotch.
No, I'm talking about his albums, like his.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask.
No, the album episode is still up. The album episode.
Okay, yeah, no, that's what I was talking about. Like the CDs, like other than that CD that you guys covered, are there any others that you really love?
The dude, yeah, Wallace said I was a fat guy and a little gee. He's got a beefy boy out there, man. Dude, the Uncle Donnie, that one is one of my all-time favorites. That one and the Champion. Of course, we listened to that at like nauseum.
The Champion.
And so, dude, that shit went on the Uncle Donnie. For those that don't know, I think that is that Stan and Judy's kid. Gibbs, do you remember?
Yeah.
It's
the
So
one that
it's
had
the premise of this-
and all that.
The premise of this joke is there's just this dude from Boston that talks like this from what Massachusetts, from Worcester. And anyway, he's the same. It's the same joke. It's the same accent as Told with Willie from his earlier album, but he's driving a boat, and then like one of the guys like gets his leg cut off, and so it's one of those skits where it just devolves and he murders everyone on the boat, and then himself gets shot by the police.
Psychotic Adventures of Uncle Donnie or something like
Uncle
that.
Donnie. So look it up. It's called the Psychotic.
The guy he gets more and more drunk throughout the skit, and then more and more psychotic as he gets drunk, and it is
which actually coined one of our lines we use, where it's like, somebody will be like, Jesus, man, is that like the 6th beer or whatever? And we're like, how's about don't count? Only a fucking old lady counts.
Yeah. I still like whenever we're cheersing, I'll be like Swancha.
That's where we learned that. Yeah.
So for those of y'all who are uninitiated, we're talking about Adam Sandler's old, and some of y'all probably don't even know, Adam Sandler had old audio comedy, sketch comedy, and
albums,
it was albums. They were intermixed with some of his goofy like made up songs, which are also legendary, by the way. We could actually break this up into talking about just our favorite songs that he wrote. Obviously he was a musician too. Like he wrote funny songs.
Touring, man, and we gotta hit those fucking tours up eventually until it's too late.
We're gonna cover that. But he also did sketch comedy, audio sketch comedy in the vein of, I mean, honestly, like it's hard to even compare it to anything. What we actually talked about this when we talked about that live album. What was it like? And I mean, it's like sort of Jerky Boys-esque, right? But it's not prank phone calls.
No, it's a skit. It's SNL,
but it's audio.
It's SNL with no fucking restrictions and censorship. So the first one was They're All Gonna Laugh at You.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
which that one has. All the albums would have like a running gag throughout. And the running gag through that one was like the severe beating of
a high school janitor, a school bus driver, the
science teacher, whatever.
Yeah,
plutonium.
Spanish
it just sounds weird.
The Spanish
plutonium
is my favorite. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the man. Why does the Spanish teacher yell the library a la biblioteca?
She's getting beaten. That's just like she was just random phrases you learn in like year 1 Spanish.
One S.
Muy guapo.
You hear on the chalkboard.
But like,
Perfect,
so
dude.
we talked about a little bit of Billy Madison, but like Sandler was doing these albums, he was doing movies, and he was on SNL at the same fucking time. Like that's bonkers to me that you're able to do all that, and all this shit was successful too, man.
Yeah,
I mean his albums were charting later on too, so much so that we went back. We started with What the Hell Happened to Me, I believe, and then that has the goat. It's not the greatest of all time. It's actually a talking goat. The cock and balls, which is Leaf's favorite.
Do It for Mother.
Do It for Mama, which Gibbs. That's what I love about the Gibbs said in that one. Gibbs said, "I just loved listening to you guys dance around why that's your favorite, like without saying like do it for Mama,
without getting
too graphic."
Yeah, and that's the thing about these albums. Like, full warning, like they are balls to the wall, full 1990s before any sort of censorship, or any kind of the modern age.
Well, like, just you got a parental advisor. That's all you needed back then. You could get. I don't think that people didn't really understand what that was, but go if you can find it. I think they're on Spotify too. Like there's YouTube playlists. Go look up Adam Sandler's like comedy albums. Start with What the Hell Happened to Me.
Yeah, I'm sure like on eBay you can find them for like 50 cents or something.
Oh God, I've been buying up like
so
VHSs and DVDs lately because a lot of stuff I'm finding out that I want to watch is not like streaming anywhere. Like in living color is streaming nowhere right now.
Yeah,
you can't find it. Tom Green,
is a travesty,
dude. The Tom Green show like is not streaming anywhere. You can't find it, and so I actually found some VHSs. I got full ripping software, so come at me, Hollywood.
Come get us.
But I mean, like, I'm gonna digitize
I don't think
it.
anybody's worried about Tom Green.
Tom Green is. He'll be in Chattanooga soon. Maybe
like,
I'll just ask him
my
if it's
$5.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I
John
need-
Finkel told us.
I need that. I'm still giving Drew Barrymore some alimony.
Yeah. John Finkel, when we were talking about MTV's The State on our episode, and he was like, I mean, you guys like it, I like it. He's like, MTV's sitting on like $75 that they could make right now. And I'm like,
what are they doing, dude?
For sure.
True.
So guys, we'll start to wind down just a little bit. I wanted to thank everybody for joining us live, and don't forget tomorrow, be sure to check out our Billy Madison episode. We just got a comment asking when we're gonna kiss. Well, we can't because we're too far away from each other.
I mean,
For $10, I will suck face with my own hand.
Gibbs will draw my face on his hand, and we'll do that for you, Emily.
I'm leaning in if Gibbs will lean in. I mean, if you just want to like get a little the other, it's fun. You know, it's fun.
I don't know how to do this.
I'm used to it.
Look at me.
Used to
What
it.
kind of women do you think I'm getting right now, except for my wife?
All of us, our own wives who hate us. Fair
yes,
enough.
absolutely, very
Fair
much
enough.
so. But also, I want to say, go back and watch our American Beauty episode because it's
always plug that episode, dude. It was one of our best. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's one of our best. It always makes me laugh.
it
when
has
you
so
like,
low
watch
views.
it.
Like it was buried. I tried to
We
look
got
it
shadow
up.
ban.
Yeah, I tried to look it up in the algorithm. It does not exist in the algorithm.
We got that one was shadowed. Like we're here's what's really funny about YouTube, the algorithm. By the way, if y'all are still watching, hit the like button. Like that boosts us in the algorithm. In any of our live streams, you're gonna hear me say it 1,000 times. I'm sorry for the OGs.
He's not sorry.
You're the first OGs here. Hit the like button. That boosts us in the algorithm. Lets YouTube know that you guys like the stream. It'll promote us to more people when we go live, et cetera, et cetera. I want to thank y'all for coming. By the way, but we're such a small channel, such a small podcast, but YouTube found it in their ever loving hearts to basically shadow ban our tiny episode of American Beauty. And let me tell you,
I kind of wear that as a badge of honor.
I kind of do too. It was really good. Gibbs is on it, dude. It was amazing.
I feel like this is my fault. I don't understand what I did. I'm sorry.
Dude, what I always
you.
tell you, Gibbs? I say Gibbs equals ratings. That's what I tell you.
They know you.
Yeah, but I don't believe you. That's you asking for a discount.
That's also shout out to our hot wives. Emily is right. We all do have hot wives.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
I do not deserve my wife. I outkicked my coverage.
None
by
of us do. But you know, for some reason, the bars were set low before us, and we just took advantage. Literally stepped over them.
We would literally
over his.
we would starve to death in this day and age, and all of our women know it. They already know. It's just nothing, dude.
So I wanted to
no.
What?
So Emily's just
Fire
like, no.
Tomlin? No.
That's Wallace.
No.
Wait.
Yes, I'm sorry. He's never had a losing season. Why would you? Never mind. We're not going to get into that.
We can't. You don't derail the podcast chat. We're supposed to be talking about Adam Sandler and Billy Madison. The episode's coming up super soon, ladies and gentlemen. I think tonight, right, Chris?
Tonight, man, 3 a.m. And actually, I'm going to end this chat. I've got our teaser that's going to go. The Leaf does every week. We call it our bumper because we don't know anything about Hollywood. But it's just, terminology we use. Wallace is right. Do not Google hot wife, especially
Wallace
on
is on fire tonight.
Hey,
yeah, Wallace is on fire tonight.
Appreciate each of y'all coming to the live podcast. We're gonna do this more, right, Chris? I don't know when what are we gonna try to do this?
Try to do it every Thursday. I can tell you right now, Thursday I won't be here because but we'll it'll happen intermittently. Let's just do it when we can do it.
Stay tuned to our social media so you'll know when we are going to go live. We'll try to announce it ahead of time if we can. That's our best promise. We're obviously all professionals here, especially Gibbs. We can do what we can do. So y'all stay tuned.
Once again, guys, check out my socials so you can see what I posted 4 years ago.
Gibbs, go try to convince somebody to deactivate Gibbs's MySpace. Or activate it again to see if you can see what he said.
Please, for the love of God, do not do that.
So, guys, with that, let's go ahead and we'll end with our little bump for next week. So be sure to watch Billy Madison episode, guys, and that American Beauty one. All right, see you guys.
See you soon.
Coming up on Be Kind, Let's Rewind.
Today we're talking about the 1995 Adam Sandler classic, Billy Madison, guys. Shut up! This is basically the goal that we all had. After we saw Billy Madison, we're like, how do we get that part of life?
Ultraviolet rays, bad. Lotion, good.
See, kids, in 1995, before the internet was widespread,
you had to look at magazines to see something widespread.
If you watch, and I never noticed it before, they cut really quick because they were having to cut out the kids crying.
When you guys were in middle school, did you have a game called Indian Pen? It was
Everyone in this room is now dumber. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.